Hey friends, welcome to this rainy day edition of Auto Afflicted. Today I'm going to show you how to go from ashy to classy. But first, do the due diligence with the likes, subscribes, the notifications. Come on, hook it up. Have you hooked it up? How about now? Alright, let's get into it with this install. Here we go. First, you want to disconnect your battery. Obviously, I used a wrench on this beforehand. You don't want a bunch of honking going on while you're fiddling around with the wires of the steering wheel. Next, you're going to need a T27 for the back of this here to remove the face of the steering wheel. Right here. Now that you got the T27s loose here and here, you can pull the face off. Careful your airbag doesn't blow up in your face. And disconnect that. Be careful. Now, as you can see, we've got the airbag out, and you need a 10mm Allen in there. Break that loose, and then we'll be able to pop the steering wheel off. So I don't have a 10mm Allen socket for my driver's set, but I do have this T-handle, so I'm not going to let it get me down. So sometimes when you don't have the right tool, you should be discouraged. I ended up busting that T-handle a little bit, so ran to my neighbors for the correct tool. Well, good size breaker bar is definitely needed on this, just to get it loose, and then you get this nice fat bolt to come out. Generally in here, there can be some marks for, center, and you want to keep an eye on your center, because when you put this all back together with this new hub and wheel, the more attention you pay to your center, the easier this is all going to be. Otherwise, you're going to have to retest it, like pull it off, adjust it a few times to make sure it's straight with the wheels straight. So this one does not have a mark. You can just put a mark, right? Like somewhere with some paint or something. I can see that this slightly turned is like straight. So I'm just gonna go for it. While this is in process, a rainstorm rolled in. So here we are in the rain. No big deal. So this is the hub. I know where the center is on this hub. And so I'm gonna get it on here pretty much like that. Put the bolt back in, plug in my wires here. Back here you've got a little connection to the horn. You can see these guys here. That's for the horn. These ones were for the airbag. You can see the hub has a space there, so the airbag ones basically disappear into oblivion. And there we go. So I got the battery connected again. Get some power here. Connect the horn. Test it. Okay, horn works, so easy. Now put the rest of this back together and hope that I got it nice and straight. So here we go, installed You know, obviously the center bolt went on nice and tight. You don't want your steering wheel coming off while you're driving around. And then these guys were installed, you know, like you would for your lug nuts, you know, in a star pattern around and around. And if you noticed, I used the little Allen key long ways, and I basically made it finger tight as I could. And then I went around and I checked it with the Allen key in kind of the more leveraging position, and just barely tightened it. You don't need to over torque these. They're so tiny, you'll blow out your socket and it'll look like hell. And it's just not necessary. So, you know, just take it easy on these. Now let's fire it up and see if it's on straight. I don't know, I think it's good. Car seems like it's going straight, just like this. Seems good. And so there you have it. We've installed probably one of the most high maintenance steering wheels. Gloss carbon fiber. I mean, just look at this thing, it's gonna scratch. They're talking no diamond rings, no wedding rings. Probably gonna have to get some driving gloves. And then a chamois just to buff it. Every time you look at it, it's gonna have a smudge on it. But I think it's pretty cool. It goes well. Everything's starting to shine up in here. Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and we'll be back soon with another installment of fixing up this 300CE and getting it just right.